Hi team, welcome to this month's podcast. I'm excited to dive into the topics for March. First, we'll hear from our CLO, Matt Lyman, where he'll highlight employee savings through HELOC, auto refi, and more. Then we'll hear from our CFO, Troy Gary, where he'll walk us through his 401k simulation and why it's important for employees to take advantage of this benefit. Let's dive in. Hi Matt, how's it going?
Good, Erica.
Good to see you again.
Likewise, thank you for having me again.
Of course. So we're almost into spring and things are getting fresh and new. And I think we want to talk about some new opportunities maybe employees haven't heard about, but also just some general information around savings.
Yeah, absolutely. We're past the winter rush of may have overspent during the holidays, and so we're always looking at ways to consolidate debt or any type of savings, whether it's a lower car payment or better insurance rates, whatever that is. We're always here on the lending side and on the insurance side to help out our employees.
Awesome. Let's talk about consumer loan savings to kick things off.
Yeah, so on consumer loan savings, I pulled some information, some data for the last 2 years, and that's when the interest rates were really the highest. They're coming down a little bit, but on average, we've saved our employees 3.5% on their interest rates on our auto refinance program. On the purchase side, it's a little bit more difficult to get a savings, but where you're going to get the savings for the employees on the products, right? So our warranties that we sell to our employees, that ends up becoming at cost to the employee. And so for GAP, that was $140 compared to $399.
Wow.
CVP was a $259 discount, and your VSC was a $600 discount. So imagine if you're going to and buying that stuff through a dealer, and you're paying, a few $1,000s, and where you can get it for $600 cheaper.
Yeah.
When you're rolling that up into the loan, that's a huge savings over the life of that loan.
For sure. Now for me, can you tell me what CVP and VSC is?
Yeah, so CVP is your tire wheel protection.
Okay.
And VSC is your full warranty, so mechanical breakdown. And then GAP is the coverage of you getting into an accident, and there's a difference between what your insurance pays off and what the loan balance is. That GAP coverage is the difference.
That's That's
huge. So when you're buying a car new and you don't put any money down, you're doing 100% financing, always get the GAP.
Okay, so you heard it first here. Now those are all really great benefits, so you're right, it makes a ton of sense to save where you can when you're rolling it into the loan.
Absolutely.
Sure. What about, switching gears a little bit, what about on the real estate side?
Yep, so on the real estate side, we've had employees take advantage of several of the products over there. We've had 6 employees close on a first mortgage, and those were 3 purchase loans and 3 cash out refinances.
Nice. And
then we had 7 employees take out HELOCs. One of them was for a home improvement loan, and that was $113,000 that they took out with only an increase of $407. And the big savings was on our debt consolidation loans, where one of our employees was able to reduce their monthly payment on all of their debt by $1,085.
Whoa.
And then we had a board member actually take advantage of one where it reduced their payment on all of their debt for $6,705 per month.
That's incredible.
Imagine that savings that you get to reduce your payments that much. And then on the HELOC side, we also had employees take out equity lines of credit for the total amount of $940,000. So tapping into that equity where it's a lower monthly payment versus your credit card debt that might be 25, 30% in some cases. That's a huge savings for our employees. And it's always been taboo that you don't kind of bank where you work because you don't want people to see your credit score or your finances or where your money's going. But know that on our side, on the lending side, we keep everything very confidential. There's only a few employees, and that's at the higher level management that sees that information. So it's not something that's broadcast, across the entire institution. So when it boils down to it, savings is savings, whether you're getting your money here or you're getting it elsewhere. And we would love to have your business here at the credit union, because ultimately that's going to make our income streams for the credit union much better.
100%. And I can personally say I've done some lending here at the credit union, and it's been exactly what you described.
Yes.
There's never been any weird feeling, or it's been 100%
Yes.
what I expected. So
yeah, absolutely. I personally have two of my car loans here, and eventually once rates get a little lower, I'll bring my mortgage over here as well.
awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else to share on that note?
Just on the personal loan side, we did have quite a bit of savings over there. We had 7 employees take advantage of personal loans to consolidate their debt. And our personal loan rates are ranging from 11% to 16% depending on your credit tier. So if you have better credit, you're going to be in the 11% range.
Okay.
If you have a little bit of a subpar credit, you're going to be in the higher range. But we're always looking to help out our employees and making sure that they're making their best financial decisions for themselves.
I love that. It's so great to work at a place where you feel like they're caring for the whole picture, not just one thing.
Absolutely.
So, thanks for being here, Matt. Appreciate the insight.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you so much.
Hi, Troy.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. Glad you're back.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, if you didn't know, last month's podcast was the highest viewership we've had so far, which is exciting. And I know the last time you were here, you talked a lot about 401ks, why they're important, investing. So we're going to keep that going, and you're going to hear a little bit more about the power of savings and kind of talk about how it relates to the impact on our paycheck.
Yes, well, thank you. Yeah, I enjoyed last month's podcast, so it's nice to know that a lot of employees saw it. So, this one, just kind of keeping with that on the savings and 401k and the match that the organization offers employees. And what does that mean? And so I ran a simulation. This particular one was done on bankrate.com, where you can go in and enter your actual salary, what you're thinking about withholding, and those kinds of things, and it runs the simulation for you. But I thought I'd run through one to just show the power of the savings. In this simulation, I did a salary of $52,000, single, and no dependents. And I looked at what does it look like if I contributed 1%, and then what does it look like if I contributed 5%. And during this simulation, it's really interesting because it gives you what the true impact is to your paycheck.
Awesome.
And just overall, so it's over a 35-year span. It does sound like a long time, but it really is not. Trust someone that's been in the workforce this long. So at 1%, the total return in savings you'd have at the end of that 35 years is just under $170,000.
Okay.
At 1%. Bump that to 5%, and you go up to just under 900,000. So it's over 800,000. So you can see the power of just what 4% does.
Mm-hmm.
And the interesting thing about this is it's only a $55 per paycheck difference in what you would bring home.
Wow.
And so just 4%, meaning 4 more percent that goes to the savings, only reduce the paycheck to $55 or by $55 over that every 2 weeks.
When you think about it like that, do you think 100 versus 900?
Yep.
The answer's obvious.
Yes. and the other thing I always encourage is looking at every annual cycle where you get a
merit increase?
A merit increase is if it's 3%, do 1% towards 401k. If it's 4%, maybe you do 2%. So you're always consistently increasing that, which is just going to increase your savings at the end. And you don't even see the impact of that in your paycheck because you don't even know what that is at that time. So it's a great time to just start increasing that slowly over time until if you can reach the max. And then on top of that, the credit union does match the 4%. So that's on top of your 4, 5, 6, whatever percent you do, just add another 4%. So easy money, easy raise. I always tell people you're leaving money on the table if you're not taking advantage of the company match. We want to give this money away. We really do. But yeah, it's really important to understand the dynamics about that part of the investing and saving.
Now, you mentioned this simulation that you ran was on bankrate.com?
Bankrate.com, correct.
Okay. You can change the family status
Absolutely.
and things as well.
Yep.
Okay, adding dependents and things.
Yeah,
of
you
that
can put
nature.
your actual married, how many dependents you do. So
Okay.
everything you do on your taxes, you can enter that, and you can enter your actual salary as well.
That's an awesome tool. Great to give everybody perspective so you know what kind of decisions you want to make.
Yeah, and I think the organization also, Sarah just sent out an email today
Yes.
talking about this exact subject. So I encourage everyone to schedule your one-on-ones with the TCG team. I did mine already today. I've already scheduled my one-on-one. I just, I meet with professionals, and it's good to just really understand if you're on the right track. So please take advantage of that great offer at no cost. And so
Absolutely.
really happy about that.
And next month is actually Financial Literacy Month. So all of this is a really good time to start thinking about kind of our wellness in that space. And so to your point, get those one-on-one scheduled because those are important. Stay informed. You make data-driven decisions, right?
That's right. Yep. We care about
Awesome.
your future, right?
Yeah.
Who knows if Social Security is going to be around? We don't know. And so this is just a way for us to really encourage our employees to better their retirement life when we do get there. So we all want to get there, and we want to have enough money to live and do the things that we still do while we're working. So
Absolutely.
We really appreciate you guys tuning in to hear what's going on at the credit union. Leave comments below on anything you'd like to hear about in our future episodes. Thanks for tuning in.